Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the D&D Icons of the Realm set, the Spell Effects, Wall of Fire and Wall of Ice collection or miniatures for, well, basically you can use it really in any tabletop RPG, but obviously this is branded specifically for Dungeons & Dragons. This is put out by WizKids, who do all the like the plastic minis for the 5th edition D&D. And the price isn't on here, but it retails for $39.99 US, which would probably be around $50 Canadian, or somewhere in that ballpark, like $49.99, or even I almost dare say it might even be closer to $55 Canadian. Like I said, there's no prices on here, and this was actually lent to me by a friend of mine, the same person who lent me the Arts and Arcana book, the special edition, like the collector's edition one, that he had picked up. So he lent this to me as well, basically because the price was high enough that I just didn't really want to, I didn't have the funds to spend it myself to purchase it. But at the same time, I get a chance to do a video on it and see if my opinions on whether I want to get this or not might be swayed a little bit. So let's take a quick look at the packaging, take a quick look at the pieces themselves, and then I do have a grid here with some minis on it, so we can just kind of see how they sort of stack up on the grid. So, pretty bare bones as far as like the front of the packaging goes. You just have the open window, you can see what's inside, you got the D&D logo, the title of what this is, and then on the sides here, you have some different artwork of, you have like a wizard casting a spell here, getting ready to, and you have another wizard casting a spell on this side. They're both sort of fire themed though, which I think it would have been nice if one of them was doing like a cone of cold or a ray of frost, while the other, because they're both, it's kind of ignoring the ice section of the Wall of Fire and Wall of Ice. But anyway, on the back here, it just gives you just a quick look at what's inside. So there's Walls of Fire, Walls of Ice, and there are 6 pieces of each included. So 12 sections overall, 6 per individual type of spell. I'll just slide this out here, and then there's just another plastic piece there. So let's just go ahead and get these out of here, and then we'll have a quick look at them. Alright, so a couple things that I just sort of noticed right out of the gate here. The first thing that I was kind of concerned about is how well they would stand up, but they actually do have a pretty wide base at the bottom, so you can actually see how it just sort of spreads out there, which again is really nice because it makes these feel quite a bit sturdier than you would normally, than I was kind of worried about. The fire ones, they're a little bit more narrow at the top, but again, they sort of have the wider bottom as well. But these ones feel like they might be a little bit easier to tip over, but unless you're really working for it, I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue. They also look like they're designed to link up, so you can actually sort of have them forming a straight line. The fire ones don't really accommodate going like in a like a circular pattern or sort of curving really much at all, which is a bit of a shame. But again, it forms just a really good straight line. But you can still put them on the grid however you can manipulate the spells, because I'll be honest, as a DM and as a DM that's running lower level stuff, I don't very often get a chance to use these spells, so I'm not quite sure if you're able to shape them the way that you were in past editions, but still pretty cool that you can sort of line them up like that, and they actually kind of move together too, which is not bad. And then we got the ice walls. I guess I should show one of the fire ones in a little bit more detail. It's made out of the sort of the translucent, the clear plastic, and with the ice walls, again, they just sort of link up together pretty decently, so you can make some pretty good sized walls with that. So, again, cool that they did that. It's a nice touch, and it's a nice detail. So I can't really take that away from them. So the next thing I want to do, just the last part, is just to show it on a grid, so you can kind of see how these are. So just have some standard adventurers here, squaring off against a troll. One of them is an arcane spellcaster. So let's just put up a wall of fire. So the individual wall pieces roughly take up, they just go a little bit over 2 squares on the grid, so they're a little bit over 2 inches, like very, very minor. But you can just kind of put them around like so. Actually, those ones stuck together so well that they actually did that. So let's just say we're surrounding our troll with the fire. I think the only sort of issue would be, obviously you don't necessarily always going to surround them sort of like this, but it does kind of block line of sight a little bit. I think that the walls might just be a little bit too tall, just in my opinion. They might be just a little bit too tall. If they were, maybe about even just like a little over an inch tall, I think would have been perfectly fine, so you could still easily maneuver things around. But it is what it is, I guess. So that's just sort of what they look like. From this angle, you can still see the troll, which is fine. Sitting back a little bit further, it's still not too bad. But if you had like medium-sized or small-sized minis, trying to reach down without knocking everything over might be a little bit of a concern from my perspective. But they're still cool in concept. I think that they are they're really nice looking, and I'm not going to take anything away from that. They I guess they're designed to do what they do, and they accomplish that. At the end of the day, though, I'm still not 100% sold on these. I think it's a cool concept. I think that $40 US is way too much to be spending on these. This is something that I feel, maybe like $25 US might be a little bit more reasonable. Because again, all you're getting is, 6, copies of this and 6 copies of this. At the end of the day, I kind of feel like I'm still more inclined to just draw a line on the grid using dry erase marker, so that I can just easily see everything that's on the table, and nothing's going to be blocked by these. I think this is an interesting concept, and they did release another set sort of along the same lines of these spell effects, which we're going to look at in a separate video. But as far as this particular one goes, this is one that I probably would personally end up passing on. But again, that's just sort of my opinion. But in the comments below, let me know what you guys think, if you've used these walls in your games, and if they've been sort of an issue with trying to maneuver minis once the walls go up, or if you didn't have those problems at all. Like, let me know in the comments below if you've used these, how your experiences went with them. Because, like I said, it's a cool concept, it's interesting, it's just not as practical as just drawing a line on a map, in my opinion. But still kind of cool nonetheless. If it was, cheaper, then I would certainly consider, then I would definitely consider picking these up. But for living in Canada, I'm going to be paying close to $50 for this. It's just not worth it. It's not appealing to me at that cost. But anyway, thought I would show these off though, and just because they are out there, and my opinion doesn't necessarily have to be the same as everybody else's. And in fact, I kind of hope that it's not in a lot of cases, but just one of those things. Just kind of raise some awareness of this for anyone who is interested in having it. So this was the Icons of the Realms spell effects for Wall of Fire and Wall of Ice by WizKids, and these should be available now. And they've probably been out for a little while actually, but you should be able to pick them up at your local gaming store. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Take care.